I thought today I would pull that Lesabre in here and take a look at it. I've noticed lately that I've had a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a vibration at about 50 or 60. I'm guessing it's probably just some mud built up in the rim, throwing the balance off a little bit, but I do want to jack it up and make sure that it's not something more serious, because I do have wheel bearings that are kind of on their way out. So I'm going to bring that in here and do that today. But first, I guess I got to move this this lawnmower. We've been using it to drag the driveway, kind of smooth it out a little bit. It's getting a lot better. But let's see if I remember how to start this stupid thing. Been a long time. Ooh, yeah, and the seat was wet. That's awesome. Alright, we'll give her a little choke. Does a decent job. We'll park her there for now. Good enough for me. There, it's kind of out of the way. Alright, we'll fire that one up and get her in the garage. Alright, let's fire it up and see what we got. Get her in the garage and see what she looks like. Yeah, tap ain't too bad today. I'm thinking that tap is a lifter and not an exhaust or anything like that, because it's got a little mist to it every now and again when you fire it up, and if it was an exhaust, I wouldn't think it'd be missing. And on top of that, it's more of a really metallic. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. And I figure if it was something actually broken, like a spring or something, it wouldn't go away when it warms up. So that's what I think about that anyway. But we got her in here. Pull it forward a little bit. Then we'll jack her up. Take a look at the wheel. Alright, well, I've jacked up this side and I haven't noticed any real problems. The wheel bearing is still loose. I'm going to try to be quiet and see if you can hear it when I wiggle it. There's just a slight bit of play in there. It's not horrible, but as far as I can tell, the tie rods and ball joints and control arm bushings and everything else are good. It's just got a little bit of play in there, and there may be a little bit of mud on the inside and the back too, but I'm not too worried about this side as long as it's nothing major. One other thing that I usually look for when I crawl under these is, you can see there, I've got the subframe bushings. I always stick my hand up here and feel on the bottom, make sure that washer is still there. I do it on the backs. Mostly I don't bother with the fronts because the backs are the ones that rust out, but both washers are still there. So we're going to go to the other side and see what that looks like. Alright, well, I've jacked up this side and taken a look at it, done the same thing, and it's got about the same amount of play in the wheel bearing. But you can see the tires are pretty worn. As I was saying, the tires are a bit worn. I can't tell for sure if it's from this alignment or if this was a tire from somewhere else. Things get swapped around so much I don't know anymore. But another thing to see is all this mud all the way caked around the rim. That's probably what's giving me my my shake. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape all that off, and hopefully that'll help. And I'll check the tire pressures and make sure that's all good. And then I'm going to crawl under the hood here and check out all the fluids and everything and see what we're looking at. Alright, well, I've gone ahead and checked the fluids here, and how well you can see that, but I am definitely low on coolant, so I'm going to toss some in. Just get her mostly up there. And I'm also low a little bit on oil, not super low. So I'm going to go ahead and just top her off with this Marvel Mystery Oil stuff. It'll be good enough. Yeah, that'll work. Maybe that'll help with my lifter issue. Yeah, go ahead and add a little bit of coolant in there. Good enough. There we go. It all leaks out anyway, so I don't really care. I think I'll make a list of all the things wrong with this car, and just see how much it is. Alright, well, I've gone ahead and I've thought about it and made a list of all the things that I know are wrong with it. So we'll just start from the top. It loses coolant. That's the first thing. Probably the intake gaskets, but yeah, I don't really want to do it on this car. I have the gaskets. I don't think I want to waste them on this thing. It's got a tick in the engine, probably a lifter, I would imagine. Let's see if that Marvel Mystery Oil cleans it up. The gas gauge doesn't work. Both the rear windows don't work. The mechanism's actually broke on them. So right now they're basically RTV'd into place, so they're not going to go up or down ever again. And the car automatically locks at random times. It'll sit for a couple days and it'll be fine, but then one day you come up to the door and it just won't open. Don't know what that is, some electrical gremlin. I'm pretty positive it's not me bumping the switch when I get out. I've done that on Ford trucks, but not on this one. So I always take the keys out. The rear control arm bushings are gone, shot, no good, worn out. They've been like that for years now. Also, that rear shock there that you're looking at, the air bleeds out of it. It's an air ride, so it squats down when it's not running. What else? Both the front wheel bearings have play in them, so those would probably need to be taken care of. The wipers are no good. Sure, it needs an alignment the way the tires look. I think we just keep rotating them around. This tire here in the front leaks. Every few days you gotta fill it up. And I pulled the codes on it just now, just to see what it was, and I got a P0107, P0128, P0404, and a P0405. Now I haven't gone and looked to see what they are, but I'll do that after I get back in the house. Let's fire it up and see if that tick will go away. Make sure I got my keys on me, because I can't leave them in the car, because randomly it'll lock all the doors. So we'll let it run for a bit and we'll see what happens. Oh, and it's got 229,000 miles, so it's a pretty high mileage car, so fixing any of this stuff would kind of be, pointless. Well, it's now a few days later. I've had that stuff running in it for, I don't know, 100 miles or so. Hasn't changed a thing. I still got the noise and it still misses. Not a big deal. And I looked up those codes, and they were, I believe, EGR and map sensor and something with the coolant, which I figure is probably because it was low. Nothing too important, I don't think. I still have that little bit of a shake, and I'm guessing it's that wheel bearing, unless there's something else in there that's also wrong with it. But I know that wheel bearing's bad, so I'm not ready to shell out the 50 bucks or whatever it is to fix that just yet. I think we'll wait and see if that motor blows first or anything else goes wrong, and then wait till the last minute to replace that. But I did buy oil and a filter, so I am officially sticking money into this car now. So I'm going to go ahead and change the oil, and I think that's about it. I'm sure it'll still have that stupid tick, but whatever. It ain't hurt nothing. Nothing that I care about anyway. Well, I'm officially not surprised that it was making noise. Drained the oil and it's just black as night, sludgy, and yeah, And there's probably a good 1/4 inch of sludge on the end of the drain plug there, and filter probably weighed about 1,000,000 pounds. So yeah, she was pretty dirty. So I got new oil in it. We'll see if we can fire it up here. Well, I suppose I'll probably have to run it for a while, but maybe that noise will go away. I can only hope. I'll sit here and just let it run for a bit and see what happens. Well, it's been sitting here idling for maybe 5 minutes or so, and I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's gotten a lot quieter. Still noisy, and I can still hear it, but I'm pretty sure it's a lifter. I mean, when you stand over the engine, you can hear it right in the center. You know, it's not coming from either side of the exhaust or anywhere else. It's like right in the middle of the engine, which is where the camshaft is and the lifters and all that. So, pretty sure that's what it is. Probably damaged at this point. You know, the lifter itself is damaged. So, whatever. I'm not going to tear it apart. I'm going to run it until she blows. But it needed an oil change anyway. That stuff was nasty. Yeah, that's about it. The mist is, you know, pretty well gone now. I mean, before you could watch the engine do this when it was idling, but once it warms up, that goes away. So I suppose that lifter gets enough oil pressure to pump it up, you know, enough to quiet it once the oil gets moving. So yeah, that's about it for this car.